What's happening? What's going on? We got everybody out today. We're gonna play a little fetch. Let someone get on the frisbee. It's been a while since I got them out like this. I got Gray and Soma out recently, but Apollo was in heat last week, so um, I really didn't want to like get her out in like public spots like this, just out of respect for other people's dogs and stuff like that. But now we back. Is that right, Gray? We'll let Apollo and Gray chase the ball. Soma will get on the frisbee because he liked that a little bit more. Someone's never really been big into like fetch, but he'll do it because he knows it's a game. Me and him are playing a game. That's the difference with Gray and Apollo. They want the ball. They are dying for that ball. They'll do anything for the ball. Someone just wants to play the game, really. So someone will evaluate what's more. I mean, he'll say, "What's more valuable, the ball, something I could bite, or the frisbee?" And in this case, it's more likely the frisbee. He might chase this ball the first time I throw it, but once he see me mess around with this frisbee, he's gonna rather have the frisbee. Yeah, he'll go down, but once I throw him this frisbee one time, and I like to do this too because it just kind of like breaks up the monotony for them. It takes different skills to catch that frisbee than it does to catch that ball. And in a situation, let's say like they're hunting or something like that, both sets of skills could be useful. You know what I mean? Not that I'll ever be say hunting birds, right? But the fact that someone can catch it out of the air, out. So no, out. The fact that he will track that frisbee in the air and catch it. He has that skill, so we're gonna just enhance it. You know what I mean? That's really my approach to training dogs. My approach to training dogs is to leave them wild a little while, so I can kind of really see if they're even worth me keeping, and then tame them first. There's a difference in training and taming, at least as far as I'm concerned. Through taming, you build a bond, you build a communication with them. Training is things like sit, stay, come, out. But no, but being able to really understand what your dog is telling you and your dog understand what you're telling it, that takes bonding, that takes training. And for me, that is my main course of action um, when it comes to just enjoying my dogs. You know, I more so want to get them to a point where, so you see, I'm at a public park and there will be people all around here. There'll be dogs all around here. My dogs are uninterested in both. They're uninterested out. They're uninterested in the people and in the dogs. And there is a level of training that goes toward that, right? I got to teach them proximity, how far they can go for me, and how far, um, what's comfortable. But the fact that they are uninterested, that comes from the bond, right? That comes from knowing that this is the pack. Anything else is outside. Anyone else is outside and doesn't really matter. They don't really matter until they enter the pack. And that comes from just a bond training and get getting a good communication with my dogs. Some things, Apollo out, out, Apollo come, out, no. So Apollo, no. So that right there, um, out, right, was showed like the training that we've done. But what I understood there is that Apollo is being possessive today. I'm okay with that. So I'm okay with her being possessive because that's the thing that I can find useful. Um, that drive to be possessive, and it lets me know what's in front of me. It lets me know that this dog here, if she gets a hold of something, she's going to be possessive of it. She ain't going to want to put it down if there's other dogs around. And I already know that. I do, and I'll tell you how I know that. Apollo, if she hunts something, She kills it and immediately starts to eat it. She don't just kill it and play with it. No, she starts to tear it apart and bite it and swallow it and eat it. These two more or less want to stop it from moving and then move on to the next thing that's moving. So when I see her being a little more possessive, I'm okay with that. She understands out. When I tell her, you can see it in her eyes, like, "Oh, I know what you're saying, but I want to hold on to this thing." And that might be a dangerous thing if I wasn't who I was, if I didn't understand that about my dogs, but obviously I do. And I understand for me what I'm trying to evaluate in each dog, it's going to take a little more taming than training. I like to know that they do have trainability though, right? So I do evaluate that too. I do check to see if how fast they pick up stuff, and they are quick. If they were not quick, they would not be here. But but the situations where they have to be tamed, that's where I get more information from. Come on, Summer. That's where I get more information from. When I see a trained dog, I think to myself, okay, that's a smart dog, um, but that's also a human with time. You know, when I see a tame dog, I think to myself, come on, that human has really, really bonded with that dog. Out, Apollo, come out. No, no, great. So that whining that Gray is doing right now, right? That's a little um wild instinct. And I haven't really no, hey, no, I haven't trained her. Hey, great, no, I haven't formally gave her a command to stop doing it. I haven't worked on anything to stop doing it. It's telling me a story. It's telling me something about my dog. It's telling me how wound up she is. So what I'll do is in those moments, Gray, sit, Gray, sit. Okay, she went down, but whatever. So what I'll do is in those moments, see if I can still get through to her. If I can't, then that's when I have to do some training. If I can still get through to her when she's being wild, right, when she's just following whatever wild instinct, then I say to myself, okay, well now we can just work on taming. And what I'm doing now is I'm just going to hold the ball. They nobody's going to get the ball. She can do that all she wants to, but she understands. She's understood over time that that doesn't work. It does nothing. And I understand that she don't even really mean anything by it. She can't really control it. She wasn't trying to control it up until now. You see, for people who watched the videos before, Gray used to go crazy barking, but she's learned to control it, and that did not come from training. That came from taming, aka just bonding with my dog. Summer, stay. Good boy, boy. Another thing it does, it teaches me all the ways that I can have fun with my dogs. You know what I'm saying? It's fun. It's fun to watch them catch a frisbee. It's fun to watch Apollo want to kill the ball. It's fun to see them, the actual dog. Apollo, out. Don't get me wrong. If I was here in front of people and I was training their dogs, I would Apollo, no, out, no. I would actually agree. I would actually do some formal training. I do have 20 years of training experience, but in with those dogs that I've had when they were super tightly trained, they were nowhere near as fun as my wild dogs are. And don't get me wrong, my wild dogs are still very trained. They're still very good dogs, good with the family, good around other people to an extent. I mean, if I'm not around, I don't know, but if I'm around, I can walk them in the public, at a park, at a store, and all that kind of stuff, and leave people alone. But I have so much fun, so much more fun with this wild group. And so Moon is a lot of fun too. Moon's trainability is out off the charts. And so I'm not saying that that's not a good thing or that you don't want that in a dog. I mean, there's ways to have fun in that too. I'm just saying that the way that I evaluate mine is to leave them wild, leave them a little wild, and see what we get. Now, I can do that because I got 20 years of training. Apollo, out, down, down, out. No. So right there, what I did was Apollo doesn't really. She isn't possessive. She doesn't really want the out, but putting her in. another command, like down, kind of shakes her mind out of wanting to hold on to the ball just for a second, just long enough for me to tear her out and she drop it a little bit faster. I don't need a collar. I don't need to do any. I don't need to touch her. I don't need to. Hey, I don't need to do anything. I just put her in another command, and she does it, and then it stops her mind out of the ball for just a second, long enough for me to tell her to drop it and her to do it. And I do that with a lot of different things. The dogs are going crazy. I might just put them in the command. I might just tell Gray to sit. I sit. It shakes her mind out of it for a little while, for long enough for me to redirect. Hey, no, no, come, no, come, come, no, Gray, come, Gray, come. Sorry, no, come, no. Sorry, we got a dog here. No, it's a good. It's a good. It's all good, man. It's a good time for y'all to see how. No, Gray, no. Just we got to see how they react to stuff like that and how I react to stuff like that. Everybody's fine. I mean, they probably wouldn't have been fine if he made it over here, but I mean, right on, thanks. They probably wouldn't have been fine if he made it over here, but um, luckily he didn't just run up here and barge. But so I can also like they seen him, they're absolutely fine. Come on, let's go. Nothing happened. Um, a pop, great, out, out, and that comes from communication. That was no formal out. There is no real formal training that I did to be able to get them to be that way, to get them to do that. Now, if that dog would have made it over here, it would have been bloody. I do have a break stick with me. And I do keep a knife on me. Uh, you just never know. But that right there just comes from. Don't get me wrong. There is some training. Do not get me wrong. There is some training that it takes to get them that way. But to be confident and tight in it is because I have a good understanding of what my dogs, how to get through to my dogs, how to communicate to my dogs. I didn't scream. I didn't yell. I didn't do nothing. I told that dog no. Told my dogs to come. When they started to have their nose go toward that dog, I know that they're not listening so well. So get them to come. Tell them to come again. They come. I could see that they were out of it, so I didn't need to grab my leashes. My leashes were over here, but I really did have to just grab someone because someone's a lot more dangerous. If that dog comes, these two dogs, they would have fought that dog. They would have bit him. But as you see, they're lighter. Um, I work with them every day. I know their style of combat, so um, I would have been able to put Soma up and go get that dog with minimal damage. If Soma got hold of that dog, then who knows? That dog, who knows? It would have been really bad. But yeah, everybody's all good. The dog didn't die. I'm not going to jail, so good. It's a good day. Out. But it's good to see things like that with your dog. It's good to I wouldn't recommend doing it with three dogs, three dangerous dogs, but it's good to see. I'll never know if I'm able to control them really off leash until I'm put in a situation like that. Out again. I wouldn't encourage out. Apollo, no, stay. Apollo, come, come, out. So I'm not mad. I'm not. No, I'm no. As far as this game we're playing goes, I'm not mad when Apollo does that because I want to keep her possessive. I want her to be that way. That is very useful in what I use my dogs for. Now, if this was a different game, then she'd have to out immediately, and then we would adjust for that. Apollo's beating Grace to the ball today. You must be back on your shit, huh, Apollo? Out. No, Apollo, out. No, Gray. Come on, Summer. Over here. Gray. And y'all already know this is a good way to wear them out. It's a good way to keep your yard looking halfway decent. Is if you could just go wear them out. Let's see if I can get him a catch. The boy, he ain't really figured out how to run with it just yet. Come on. Oh, good. Right there. That lets me know he's starting to get tired. Good boy. Apollo out. Out. Apollo hasn't really started. How I know my dogs are getting tired when we're out here is they'll go fetch whatever. No, Gray. They'll go fetch whatever it is, and then they'll lay down with it for 20 seconds or something like that. And what I'll do is I just let them lay down. I'll just let them catch their breath, and then we'll throw it 15, 20 more times. You know, that they lay down again. Come on. They lay down again. That is when I kind of, I know to stop pushing them. Let's go. I've made the mistake of pushing Moon so far that come. He damn near passed out. Great, come. Great ears doing that Moon thing. You see that? Like Moon, one ear sticking up. Good girl. Come on. You see everybody. Everybody's looking good. This is how I get pictures, y'all. You ever see pictures on Instagram? This is how I get them. Hold something in front of them. Hold it at the place I want it, so I can get his eyes now. Bam. Again, just grabbing some pictures real quick. For the people that follow me on Instagram and see their pictures, this is how I get those. Hold something, hold it behind the camera so you can kind of get their face, then give it to them. Apollo, out, out, no, Apollo, down, out, out, no, out. So this here also tells, no, Gray, that there also tells me Apollo's tired. They're a little slower to drop whatever it is. Summer and Moon will kind of chew on it, suck on it when they're super tired, and the out is a little slower. Apollo, out, no, out. The one thing about these dogs, um, even Apollo, and I say even Apollo because she's not one of Moon's kids. I expected this from Moon's kids to move this way. The one thing about these dogs is that they are nonstop and they are not discouraged. It's hard to discourage them. Soma has failed on so many things. And no, when I see dogs, say like I'm trying to teach them to jump or climb something, I see dogs that just get out of it. They're just like this ain't working them out. Not Soma, not Moon. I haven't gone that far with Gray on some stuff, but I know for days like this, Gray will be nonstop. Gray has high puppy energy still. Let me get some pictures. of Apollo's the hardest one to get pictures of. Pictures do not do Apollo justice. I think it's because the way she holds her ears when I'm trying to when I'm about to throw something. And other than that, her ass don't sit still. But you got to see Apollo in person to appreciate Hershey's fire. All right, one last throw. Good boy.